Part 1, 1861 to 1866. Chapter 1. I was only a button when the war broke out, merely 5 years old, so any recollection of those years is nothing more than a snatch of memories, some clear, most blurred by other events. Here's what I know of my family. Papa was born in Harrisburg, way down in South Texas near Houston. 4 years after Papa entered this world, Uncle Jake was born there too. 2 sons of a wealthy planter, but Papa developed a case of wanderlust. Jacob Braden, he liked the balls and the bells and the money and ease of life that King Cotton gave him. Papa, on the other hand, wanted something different, something he could make for himself, not just have given to him, because he was Jonathan James Braden's son. So upon turning 18, Papa bid goodbye and rode to San Antonio, Austin, then Dallas. His travels and wayfaring ways always gave me pause, for I knew Uncle Jake as the wild and reckless one. But Papa? By the time I was of an age to notice such things, Papa seemed like an old man. The war for the Southern Confederacy changed them both. Rooted to the land of cheap grass, reddish clay, shale, and sandstone, Papa worked sunup to sundown, uttering as few sentences as possible. He never said grace, leaving that job to Mama, but he always made sure we left at least one biscuit or a piece of cornbread on the table after supper, in case some visitor called. As if anyone would ride out to our hard-scrabble place roughly 1 mile before Lost Creek flowed into the west fork of the Trinity River. We had a real house, though, made of log and stone. When he and Mama first moved to Jack County, Papa had suggested that they start off with nothing more than a dugout, but Mama would hear none of that. "The only time I expect to have dirt over my head, Will," she said, "is when I'm dead." They had first met in Dallas. Papa had met Martha Jane Pierce, who had come with her folks and siblings from North Carolina. As Mama said, she and Papa got into a whirl in Dallas. Martha's father and uncle and their oldest sons had gone off to help settle what originally was land designated for something called the Texas Immigration and Land Company. They had set out with pack saddles, called kayaks, and coffee pots and tin cups hanging from rawhide straps around the necks of their mules. By the time the Pierces had returned to Dallas to fetch the women and children, Grandpa Adair realized there would be no getting rid of William Braden. Even before the Pierce clan had reached Tarrant County, with their wagons and milch cows and chickens and packs of Carolina hounds, she and Papa were betrothed. They married in Fort Worth, and Papa joined the Pierces as they journeyed west to the land they had staked for themselves. That was 1855. I came along a year later. They gave me Mama's maiden name, Pierce Jonathan Braden. By the winter of 1858, Grandpa and Grandma Pierce had given up, beaten by the land, the sun, and the Indians. Northwest Texas proved a whole lot different than the piney woods of Carolina. Dry, hilly, and hard, populated along the creeks and rivers with mesquites, scrubby oaks, pecan, elm, and walnut trees, and cottonwoods, but mostly a land of tough rolling hills and that vast, almost endless Texas sky. And Indians. Closest were the Tonkawas, always friendly to the whites, but the Comanches to the west and Kiowas to the north were not friendly at all. One of my uncles, Charles Pierce, I never got to know. Along West Keechee Creek in the spring of 1858, Comanches killed him and 3 of his dogs that he had taken along hunting. They took his horse and his scalp. My guess is that the loss of Charles sent Grandpa and Grandma south to Austin, which was civilized.